Hello, you guys. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're starting video number 2 and we are going to be talking about a specific topic. Now, in Spanish, for non-Spanish speakers, I'm gonna do some explaining here and there. So, si hablas español, podés escuchar estos videos también porque en realidad voy a tratar de hablar lo más despacito posible, por un lado, y por el otro vas a encontrar en las descripciones algunas palabras o vocabulario clave. Acuérdense que normalmente el nivel con el que yo trabajo más es preintermedio o intermedio o avanzado, entonces si sos de un nivel básico, por supuesto que podés escuchar nuestros videos. Puede ser que te cueste un poco más porque siempre nuestro enfoque está más en niveles como preintermedio, intermedio y avanzados. Entonces, además de lo que vas a estar escuchando, en la descripción siempre voy a dejar esas palabras clave o si trabajamos alguna gramática puntual, lo voy a mencionar al final de los videos. Hoy vamos a hablar de un tema particular, vamos a hablar de twin pregnancies, ¿ok? Embarazos múltiples o de gemelos en este caso. Cabe que les comente que en inglés y español el concepto twin pregnancies está vinculado. Para nosotros twin es gemelo. Pueden ser identical twins o fraternal twins, que sería gemelos o mellizos, como nosotros lo conocemos en español. Entonces, here we go, okay? Let's talk twin pregnancies, please, guys. This is a topic that actually I did a lot of research online. I searched several videos on YouTube. I searched for information. I tried on Baby Center. And guys, there's not really much information out there of twin pregnancies as such, and also about, you know, what it is like to be a twin mom. I think there's not enough information, and I think the information available is just sometimes just not really descriptive, but it's maybe from doctors' point of views or things like that. And I said, no, I have to make my own video about twin pregnancies, as right now I'm with Baby Bump for babies number 4 and number 5 that they have been with me for 22 weeks already, so I'm on week 22. By the way, for Spanish speakers, let's talk and clarify one big concept here. Guys, when you are pregnant, you are given what we call the due date, okay? What is that? The due date es la fecha probable de parto. When you're due, I'm due on January the 15th, okay? My sister's birthday, actually. So if I say I'm due on June the 15th, that means that that's when my babies are gonna be born, okay? So the due date is very important in twin pregnancies because it's just a reference mark. Because most pregnancies, and hear me out guys, if you are pregnant with twins right now, you're probably not gonna make it to your due date, okay? Why are you not gonna make it to your due date? Because mostly twin pregnancies do not last so much, okay? Depends on the woman, depends on the babies. Some women make it to their due date, but most women don't make it to their due date. And that's because you have less space in the womb, in the belly, for the babies to grow. So you can't, normally, it is commonly accepted and understood that it's very hard that you make it to your due date. With that said and explained, if you're a new mother out there and you're wondering if you're gonna make it to your due date and you are a twin mom, depends on a lot of factors. My 3 kids that I already have were born on the 38th week of pregnancy, meaning that I never made it to full term. I never made it full term. So that means that it's very likely that my twins are born earlier. We don't know, but we suppose, okay? So talking about the pregnancy in itself, guys. What is it like? How does it feel to be pregnant with twins? Pros, cons, and other circumstances. Let me tell you, twin pregnancies, guys, can be extremely hard. As a mother of 3, I had my 3 kids and very successfully achieved to have really nice, smooth, and easy pregnancies. I never really had like big problems, except with my last pregnancy that, well, my kid was born and I had a virus. I caught a virus while I was pregnant. For those of you who don't know about that, I'll make another video about that situation, because some of you moms out there could have that situation happen to you. And if your son or your daughter, your baby is born with a hemorrhage in their brain, and you suffer any brain injuries, you may want to hear about my video and my testimonial on what happened to us. And that is why I tell you moms out there, all of you, please take care of yourselves when you're pregnant. Do not take pregnancies lightly, like it's something unimportant or like you can do everything. Those people that tell you can do everything, just remember, pregnancy is 9 months where you need to take extra care of yourself, because otherwise nothing may happen, or something can happen like it happened to me, and I paid the ultimate price with my health and my baby's health. But that's another story. However, going back to the labor and delivery, what we call in Spanish el parto, the labor and delivery of my 3 kids was super easy. It was very simple. I always had, like I said, very easy pregnancies. My babies were born on the 38th week, the 3 of them, like I mentioned. And so my labors and deliveries were always like really fast and simple. Like I was starting to feel bad. It was for a couple hours, and I would head to the hospital. And while I was there, I mean, you know, they run a few tests on you. Doctors, OBGYNs check you up, you know, and I think in most cases it was like, okay, in about 1 hour or 2, you're due, you're ready to go. And that was it, you know, like I think most cases it was like, first time, I think it was 8 hours of labor, active labor. Then the second time around, it was maybe like 3 hours. And the last time, I think it was like 3 hours as well, or 2 hours, with the intense labor contractions being less than an hour, 40 minutes, I think the last time, 1 hour or so. I can't recall very well, because when you're gonna have a baby, you don't even, I mean, because of the pain, I had 3 natural childbirths with no medication or intervention of any kind, which meant that it was all natural. So the level of pain I think you're exposed to, it just kind of makes you feel like you have no idea, or at least that's how I felt, guys. I was like, oh my God, I have no idea what's going on around me. It was just like, every time I would like, I think the first time I yelled a lot, for real, like, and people would tell me like, breathe in and out and this and that, and I was like, breathe in and out, like, I can't, I'm dying, dude, like, seriously. Then the second time around, I was like more of a philosopher, if you will, like I seriously felt that the second time around I felt like a philosopher. I'm telling you this because I was like asking myself, am I in actual pain, or this is just a moment? I remember thinking about that while I was, you know, like in the labor process, and while pushing, I was thinking, do I really feel pain, or is it just my mind and, you know, like some sort of mind game kicking in? So if I had time to ask myself that, I think it was a very spiritual moment, and certainly not that painful as the first one. also was faster. So that marks a difference. And the third time around, of course, it was painful. I didn't make a single sound. I think I just cried a little bit, you know, to myself. And I was just like trying to focus on the breathing. I mean, it doesn't make, in my personal opinion, the breathing doesn't really make a big difference. It just makes a big difference in terms of how calm you are to push or not, you know, and that's all. But really, I'm not sure if that helped out at the end of the day. However, let's go back to twin pregnancies now that I gave you this background of what my labors were like before. As you can see, they were really short, didn't last too much. I only, you know, the babies were out in a couple of pushes, literally. It was very beautiful and easy. But this time, as you can imagine, because of having a twin pregnancy, my options are different. As a mother, I feel like there's the option of, you know, vaginal birth and natural birth. But honestly, that's up to so many variables, guys, that you really don't know if you're the owner of, you know, asking yourself, am I gonna actually have a natural birth? We don't know, you know, because in reality, you just don't know how your body's gonna look like and how you're gonna feel like when the time comes. If you're gonna start labor on your own, or if you're gonna end up having a C-section programmed, which is the option that I'm considering the most this time around. I'm considering a C-section. So you may ask yourselves, why would I choose a C-section over natural childbirth if I had 3 options before? And the reason why I'm choosing this, guys, is because actually my options, they're reduced because the risk is higher. Okay, it is well known that twin pregnancies have a higher risk for the babies, for the mother, and I really don't want to put myself into any sort of risk, and I don't want to put the babies on any form of risk, whether that's, you know, lack of oxygen during vaginal birth or whatever. You hear so many things out there that I thought maybe the way to go is just have a natural childbirth if the conditions are super given and I'm reassured that everything is going to go the right direction. If that's not the case, then I am opting for a C-section. With all that said, what are the main symptoms that you're gonna get if you are pregnant with twins? Let's go over the symptoms you're getting when you're pregnant with twins. How did I discover that I was pregnant, and what was the difference talking about twin pregnancies? Well, first things first, guys, my period was due. You see how we use the expression due again? My period was due on October the 10th. And we had been in Brazil on vacation with my boyfriend, and we were planning on getting pregnant, and we just didn't know when it was gonna happen. So we were playing around with this idea of getting a Brazilian baby. So we were just thinking, okay, we may as well just try right now, see what happens. We thought that I could be pregnant while we were on the trip, but that time around it didn't happen. But then when we got back from the trip, which I don't really remember the dates, to be honest with you, but I do remember that at the end of September, I was feeling weird, you know? I was just feeling a little bit exhausted, but I mean, my period was not due, like I said, it was due on the 10th, and this was like September 28th, 29th, 30th, just around that time. And I remember, you know, I was just buying some Halloween stuff for the kids, you know, decoration and such. And I thought, oh, what if I'm pregnant? Because it's like I could be pregnant. It could easily be the case. And so I thought, but no, wait, like it's crazy that I think about that right now because my period is not even due yet. So why would I be pregnant? How can I know that right now? So I said, yeah, that's bullshit. Just forget about it. And I went on and I decided to take a test, just to make sure that I was not hallucinating. And so I went straight to the drugstore and just got myself one of those home pregnancy tests. I got the pregnancy test done and it came out, guys, positive in the minute. I'm telling you, like I just took the test, and as soon as I start seeing the screen, the two little red lines, pink lines, appeared right away. And I was, like I said, far from my my due date. So I was like, dude, I'm due on the 10th of October. Like, what does this mean? I knew that I wasn't pregnant before because we had just, we took a few tests while we were in Brazil thinking that I was pregnant. So it was like, those came back negative. And so I was really sure that I wasn't pregnant while we were in Brazil. So it was like, what the hell is this? Like, 2 weeks ago they came back negative and now 10 days later it's a positive. And it turned out, guys, that I was pregnant, but the reason why my pregnancy test came back so clear so quickly is because it was twins. So the level of your hormones in blood, the HCG hormone, which is the pregnancy hormone, is higher when you're pregnant with twins. So girls out there, if you get yourself a pregnancy test done and it comes back positive and you are like, you see the two lines straight away, trust me, you may be pregnant with twins if you're not due yet and you receive these results because the hormone levels are higher. Can the hormone levels be higher and you're not pregnant with twins anyway? Yeah, that can happen too, but usually it's because you're more advanced in the pregnancy. And I know all these things, guys, because before being a teacher, I used to be a med school student, so I kind of know a little bit about this as well. So I went straight to the doctor and we scheduled up an ultrasound with my boyfriend to know what was going on. I told my doctor and my doctor immediately just said, you're not even due yet. Like, your period should come. I think by then it was in about 5 days or 6 days. So she told me your period should come in about 5 days. So because you're not due yet, like, chill, relax. I'm gonna send you the first routines, the first pregnancy routines. But after all, you don't really need to do too much yet because it's too early on. But we decided to schedule up our ultrasound at a private clinic. So off we went and we took the ultrasound on a private clinic. As soon as we walk into the room, guys, we sat down and I knew the guy that was performing the ultrasound. That doctor was one of my teachers in med school. So it was very funny. He was like, hey, I know you. And I was like, yeah, I know you too. And so we sat down, I laid on the bed, and as soon as he starts, like scrolling around my body with the equipment, I just saw like two little balls there. And I was like, no way, this is not what I think it is. And then he goes like, guys, it's 2. And we were like, what? And the funny part is that my boyfriend kept saying that we were gonna have twins all the way. The whole time before we got pregnant and before, he kept saying it's gonna be 2, it's gonna be 2, it's gonna be 2. And we always had this joke, this internal joke with Star Wars, Darth Vader and Padme, Princess Padme, and we always said like, well, we may as well have twins. And then this just happened. We were like absolutely baffled, excited, happy, crazy, worried as well. but that's how we found out. In terms of the symptoms, guys, and this is where I wanted to go to. What kind of symptoms you could have if you're pregnant with twins? Girl, the symptoms are just like you have 2 babies, you got double the symptoms. If you felt morning sickness before, I always felt really slight morning sickness. I was never feeling like this crazy, terrible morning sickness that a lot of girls get. I got twice the morning sickness I had with my other kids, which meant that I started experiencing actual morning sickness. So I was feeling really sick, really just utterly sick for the first 2 months, 3 months. So I couldn't, it was like everything I ate just felt really bad. I had my stomach was just feeling really funny all the time. Every time I ate, I had heartburn. The whole first 3 months, 4 months, heartburn was present the whole time, which meant that there were certain foods out there that I couldn't really eat. Everything was just upsetting. When you have heartburn, I think heartburn is, if not the most annoying symptom of pregnancy that I ever felt. Heartburn feels like you're constantly feeling bad head to toes, no matter what you do, and there's nothing you can do to make it better. It doesn't really go away that easily. Like, even if you take medication, in my case, I took the medication I was prescribed and it just didn't help. So I was feeling really bad until I told the doctor to just please give me something stronger because I'm not enjoying life right here. Guys, I spent maybe 2 months really feeling like I couldn't cope. So I would take a nap, I would wake up, take a shower, take another shower, take the pills, drink water. I hate milk, so I didn't really drink milk. But yes, yogurt and that kind of stuff. I tried everything out there and nothing would work. I tried a diet, I tried not having a diet, whatever. And I wasn't feeling like eating too much because of that. So my weight gain during the first 3 months was not that much. Now let's talk weight gain after the heartburn just kind of subsided. It just kind of went away on its own, thank God. I think it was after the 16th week or so, 15th, 16th week, I started feeling much better. And that's when I was able to start eating. So of course I enjoyed eating whatever. And I totally recommend you guys to just listen to your body and eat whatever you feel like eating, because sometimes your body is just asking you for what it really needs from you. So I started feeling I'm not a big fan of junk food at all, or burgers, or I just really don't like it all that much. I think the top 2 things I can eat in regards to junk food is always pizza and fries. But then again, I'm not really a big fan. However, I ate so many burgers with cheese and so much junk food that I couldn't believe it. I started liking things that I never liked before. Examples of this: I literally do not like candy. Guys, I don't like candy. I'm not a candy person. I ate so much candy, popsicles and that kind of stuff that I never really liked, and I was eating them by the minute. I think that my body was just asking for some sugar or something. So that was one thing. And then another thing was also the sugary drinks, which I had to cut for my own health, because obviously I'm rapidly gaining weight now, which, whereas maybe 2 months ago I wasn't really, and now I'm putting in a lot more weight. So you have to take care of yourself, and you have to make sure that you don't drink as many sugary drinks, because it's not good for your health. So I try to reduce it. I try to keep it maybe something that I do at the weekend without sugar if possible. But just soda drinks, it's something I started drinking as well. Whereas in the past, I would only drink water and coffee. By the way, coffee was something incredible. The first 3 months, I stopped drinking coffee naturally, which people would tell you like, oh, you're gonna have to quit coffee. And I didn't even need to quit a thing because I didn't feel like drinking coffee at all. It was like off of my list. However, now I'm returning to have maybe 2 cups a day or something, so it's no big deal, whereas before I would drink maybe like 6 or 10. My boyfriend and I are 2 coffee lovers that try pretty much every single coffee that we see out there, and I'm personally a foodie, so imagine, I think I just made a big effort into trying to figure how my diet was changing and listening to my body at the same time as I was trying to stay healthy. So these were my symptoms, first symptoms I got in the pregnancy. Now on the next video, I'm just gonna tell you about how it feels like in terms of your body, your changes, the adaptation, the discomfort that you may feel, which can and could be severe when you're pregnant with twins. So we'll talk about that in our next video. I hope you have enjoyed it. And for those of you that do not speak fluently English on this topic, like I said, I'm gonna leave on the description some of those keywords that I handled through the conversation so you can learn more about how to talk pregnancies with your friends out there. I hope you guys liked the video and I'll see you on the next one.